here on our computer.
Yes.
If you're ready to go, say, let's go.
Let's go.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Do we have another inspired human with us today?
We do.
You do.
It is the awesome, extremely awesome Amy Izzo. Amy Izzo, thanks for joining us today in this podcast of Party at the Summit episode. Where are we at? 29?
Podcast number 29.
Whew. Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Well, it was only appropriate to have you on today because, the three of us have been chatting over the last week or so about creating visions, and we're going to be hosting a vision board workshop this Saturday from, help me out with times, 2 to 4 Eastern time, and then back up from there.
Yeah.
1 o'clock Central.
1 o'clock Central.
2 o'clock Mountain. I'm in Mountain time right now.
I'm not prepared. Wait, I will tell you.
So, when your vision is clear, so are your life choices. And, I have these glasses on, Amy and I, because sometimes we see life through the rose-colored glasses. And then sometimes we have to put on our glasses to create and see that clear vision, especially when you age and you have to, get a prescription so you can see a little bit clearer. When I take my glass, I can see, but man, when I put them on, the vision.
Oh, the clouds part.
Mine
The
are a little
sun
gold.
starts shining.
Yours are rose, mine are gold.
So I think a common concept and conversation for most people come the new year, 2022 or whatever year it is that we start, people are establishing visions and dreams and big goals that they have, aka resolutions, like what they're looking to get out of the next year ahead and hopefully closing 1 year, completing that, and then coming into the next. And Amy Izzo, you had posted something of curiosity and intrigue of saying, hey, I'm going to be hosting a vision board workshop. Who's interested in doing that? And I raised my hand. I said, hey, it's been some time since I've done a vision board. And then a few days later, maybe a week later, Gail and I were having a conversation completely separate to what you were posting and sharing about. And we're talking about vision boards because when I think of vision board, my mind goes to Gail's Intech because Gail is masterful at creating vision boards and she's done it every year, and just as you have as well, Amy. Mm-hmm. And then I thought to myself, I'm always thinking progression. How does something that works relatively well, how does it become better? How does it become more efficient? How do people get greater results out of something that they're already currently doing? And I said, how do we upgrade a scoreboard? Or that's a vision board. See, my scoreboard's on my mind. We work daily through a scoreboard as well. It's an accountability scoreboard, but this is a vision board that we use and utilize and reflect on throughout the entire year. So then we thought, all right, well, what percent of people, if you were to take 100 people that create vision boards and they do it well to the best of their ability, based on how they were instructed, how they were guided to do it, how many people actually accomplish most of the things that are on their vision board? And we came to the conclusion that not many people actually fulfill their dreams. They're on the scoreboard, whether they're small ambitions or they're big ones. So our brain started working a little bit harder. Some smoke was starting to billow. And we said, all right, we want Amy involved in this process because we're sort of riding on the coattails of what Amy has started with the vision board process. And how do we accelerate that? And so we came up with some things and some formulas. And so the three of us have gotten together and we put together what I feel is a very comprehensive process in which you can create a vision board that's not only going to work for you, but I think most importantly, what I'm taking out of it is that it's actionable. It's something that you can work through as far as almost a blueprint in how you have a greater probability of you accomplishing said goals and said visions for yourself. Am I right to be thinking that?
You're tracking. Awesome.
So oftentimes it's how I interpret it. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page because the three of us are going to be, as Gail had said, Saturday, we're going to be getting together 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then you can follow your own time zone, that's going to work. But if you haven't opted in already to get into the workshop, it's free, it's complimentary. We're offering our value so that we can just share with you what's on our mind and deliver some excellence into how you're going to create a greater, healthier, more optimized 2022. We'll drop that below in the link so that you can opt into the process. It's not just about showing up on Saturday. You need to be prepared. Like, there's a level of preparation and instruction for you to be ready to have a successful process in creating the vision board. And so the opt-in, once you opt into that, again, I'll say it's no charge. Like, we're not expecting anything from you other than your energy to show up. We have pre-recorded a 35-minute video, 36 to be exact, of laying out what to expect, what to bring, what the thought process is in our time together on Saturday. And then there's going to be a follow-up email that's going to have the Zoom link for Saturday. And then you'll be directly entered into a landing page that's going to give you that video, along with the PDF workbook that Amy has created so nicely to get you best prepared. So that's the reason why there's an opt-in, because it's not just showing up, it's being prepared, it's being ready. And frankly, it's about being enthusiastic about what we're doing. And you're going to get out of our time together what you're willing to get out of it. And I feel we've done our best to make sure that you're as ready as you can possibly be.
Well, here's the thing about being prepared. Like, have you ever gone someplace? Imagine you're going to go someplace, and I'll use the example. We went to a potluck last month here at the RV park, and we showed up just, well, it's a potluck. We didn't bring anything. We didn't even bring our utensils, which, everybody's got their own little plates and they brought their own beverages, and we just showed up. So it was awkward and uncomfortable because, we were invited to come in and participate and go get a plate over there at the counter and a fork. But, had we been prepared, it would have been a lot different experience. So I use that analogy because when you come to the workshop on Saturday, we have blocked off 2 hours in our schedules. We may not be there that long, but imagine if you show up prepared and what you could walk away with a clear vision for yourself, what your dreams and goals. And that's what our video kind of goes into. We explain what we've done in the past, and it'll help you get prepared for how you can show up on Saturday to get the most out of the experience instead of just sitting there, with nothing to work on. So that's
we want you to experience a potluck, not a pot no so luck.
That's right. That's right. So, come with your fork.
Yes. Ready to consume.
I mean, really, between now and then, so some of the things that we're asking you to prepare for is, have images of what your visions are. So if you're going to cut out some images and bring them with you to the workshop, you got to know what your vision is. So, between now and then, it would be great to start to document, what do you want? And I don't want to hear, I don't know, because that's what we say. Mm-hmm. What do you really want? I don't know. You know what you want. You know how much money you want to earn. You know the experiences you want to have. You know the things that you want to do. You know the position you'd like to see your family in. You know how you want to improve your health.
Yeah, you know what your body is to look like and feel like. You have an ideal premise of what that is. And we say something in our community, we say vague vision produces vague results. Mm-hmm. So there's a reason why you're not achieving a result. It very well could be the reason that you don't have that clarity of vision. Mm-hmm. And nobody knows your vision better than you do. So you can't expect somebody to create that for you.
Sometimes it's just it's about, well, I know, but when I admit it, when I write it down, right now it becomes real. So sometimes it is, I know, I say I don't know, but I know, but now when I have to write it down and put pictures to it, it becomes real.
Scary.
And that's scary. That's uncomfortable. That's growth.
Is it possible? You question, you put things on your vision board and you sometimes you look at an image and it stirs an emotional response in you. And so you know that that's speaking to you. But then when you cut it out and you place it on a board, like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this, because it becomes like you have a mix of emotions. Is it possible? Can I really do that? What if?
Mhm.
And we're here to help coach you through how to create the clarity in your mind to get to that vision that you desire. Because here's what we've worked on for the last 20 months, in our community, is it's creating from the inside out. Our vision, those visions are external visions of what we desire and what we want. And sometimes we have to look in. Well, not sometimes, we have to look inside, and who we are. Who do I need to become for that vision to become a reality? And we're going to talk a lot about that on Saturday, is the characteristics. And Steve, in that conversation you and I were having, I think it was just a week ago after our podcast, actually. And we were talking about that. And you had this epiphany of the be, do, have. Like, who do we have to be to do the things we have to do to have that vision and goal that we desire to have? Share anything about that?
Yeah. I mean, let's remove even those three words out of the equation and let's just look at the vision board for a second. Let's look at, Gail, do you have your vision board from last year by chance, or do you have anything that you can show as a representation?
I do. It's really busy. When I was looking at this, I looked at this and I said, oh, I felt abundant. I really felt abundant looking at my vision board from last year, which is so different from what I've created for this year. But that's just part of the process of, the evolution of who we become and how our visions evolve over, over time.
That's the progression, right? That's the
Progression.
That's the progression, and that's okay. If that's the board, that was a great board, now it's a new vision.
So there's zero expectation you showing up on Saturday of what your vision board is to look like. It's to best represent what you want it to represent, so that it gives you clarity to what your future is going to be. Could be short-term future, 2022, or it could be long-term future, whatever you see 2025 looking like, 2030. And yes, those years are going to come regardless. It's just how clear is that vision? What's your short-term, what's your long-term goals, aspirations, dreams, and visions? Before I give like sort of a quick overview of where that conversation went, Gail, and how that's going to bring value, I want to, if I may, intercept with another piece of value for preparation. And you had said some things, Gail, of like, hey, what if? Like, can I really do that? We're making those interpretations, those perceptions of thought based on what we've experienced in the past. We're taking what we've experienced in our history and said, well, I've tried that before. That didn't work. I tried it again. It didn't work. I'm going to encourage you. I've talked about this in several episodes, but go into, and it's not fair for me to mention this if I don't give you an easy resource to find. And I'll post this also in the comments below this live video, and we'll do it in the show notes. Go into the training I created about a month ago for why your goal setting is keeping you trapped, and get into that 25-minute training. Again, it's a free training I provided so that you can identify what you've experienced in your past. It could be all of 2021. It could have been whatever happened 2 weeks ago. It could be what happened the last decade. Find those things, identify the wins, the losses, what lessons you've extracted, and just complete. I'm envisioning us showing up on Saturday and walking you through not just creating your vision or like encouraging you to do that. We want to provoke you to sever the tie of what the past was, so you can create a clean, clear slate for what is possible for you on your terms. Release all the baggage that you've had. Just start with a clean slate, because you can't create this amazing vision if you're holding on to all this shit from last year. We've done that. And I don't need to prove that to you. Just look at what happened in 2021. Look at what happened in 2020. So give yourself some grace and the opportunity by just clearing the canvas, clear the slate, and start with fresh thoughts, fresh beliefs, fresh stories. I know it's like much easier said than done, but it's a process. Becoming takes a lifetime, but it's going to start with being around the right people and the right environment. So that's the first offer. Like, if you want to level up how you're going to show up on Saturday and be like uber prepared, go into that training. Just spend 25 minutes to an hour and go through that workbook, go through that process, go through that exercise. And I assure you, you will have just so much more freedom for you to paint and draw and imagine and envision what it is 2022 is going to look like for you.
And I love that you said that, because when you go in with that mindset, you give yourself permission to dream. When you let go of the stuff, you give yourself permission to dream. And that's what this starts with, is dreaming a little, dreaming, and then documenting what those visions are.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm just making a note to make sure that I get you that link and you can plug into that. All right, so back to what, Gail, you're asking me about how we've leveled up, we've upgraded the scoreboard process. And again, this is just an opportunity. This is not like a be all end all, like this is the way you need to do it. But stay with me here for a brief second, and we're gonna go in way more detail come Saturday. So we have an hour or two, up to 2 hours for us to spend time on this. So imagine a traditional vision board. Okay, so Gail, you held yours up, and yours has all types of, what your body's going to look like, doing the podcast. We have all these pieces. Can you bring it a little closer if you can, just so we can see a little more of the detail on there? Yeah, so you have, look at the smiles on there. You have an RV on there.
Yeah. Yep. And climbing a mountain and doing a paddleboard. Those are two of the things that I accomplished this year that they just happened. We were in Florida. We bought the paddleboard. I paddleboarded around my lake. I climbed a mountain with a friend and sat up there and overlooked the valley, eating nutritiously. Like, my Promise Keeper friends are on there, my friends, my family, all the things that bring joy and bliss in my life are on this board. So I don't want to retire it. I don't want to not look at it, because it brings me such joy. But see, like Amy said, it's the progression. We progress year to year. It's not that I have to let this go, because there's a lot of things on here that I have that maybe not have accomplished yet, that might happen 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now. That's the beauty of creating a vision and dreams and goals for your future.
And the words are important too. I love the images, and I love some of the words. Like when I see on your vision board, she designed a life she loved. Mm-hmm. I would say, yep, she's done that, and she's doing that.
She's doing
right?
that.
Just
absolutely.
knowing you. You've done that, but you're not done, because you're also doing it. I love it.
So how do we make this process actionable?
Well, let me say this. Normally, our vision boards are images and words that inspire us for things that we want for the future. They're not always tied to the actions.
Correct.
And I think that's where we level it up.
Yeah. So here's where we're going to go. Here's where I'm interpreting the board. So here's my trusty whiteboard. And let's just say, envision you breaking this up into 3 pieces. Okay. So if you have just like 2 imaginary lines here, breaking up into 3 components. On the far right side, okay, so we're working almost reverse. On the far right side is going to be all the images, the visions, the dreams, the goals. It could be in your health. 90% of people are going to be creating visions about a healthier quality of life. There's no question about that. So what's your health look like? You have that vision. What's your wealth look like? What does your family look like? What's your vacations look like? I'm just going to breathe. Relationships. So all the things that you're putting on the traditional vision board that's being created. But why is no one ever asking themselves, okay, so this is great. I'm going to put it on my wall. I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to dream about it. I'm going to start putting the law of attraction into place. Things are going to start coming my way because I'm putting enough attention to it. We have to be we have to be actionable, and that word just keeps coming to me. And so what does that mean? That means that if you have the vision of your health, you have the body, the physique, the image, the feeling, the energy that you are idealizing and you want to have, you have to ask yourself, all right, well, what are the behaviors that I need to do that are going to create that vision? There you go, holding up your meal tracking, like your manual tracking.
Want a bikini body? Better track your nutrition. For me anyway.
So this is gonna be behaviors. I have not done my vision board yet because I'm saving all of my clippings, all of my resources, and I'm gonna be building it with you. Actually, I think we're all gonna be building one with you on Saturday. So we're going through this process with you. This isn't just like us being instructive and walking you through. We're gonna be doing it with you. So there's gonna be a lot of engagement showing up on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So the behaviors, what are the behaviors that I need to hold true to that are going to produce the result that I want, the vision, the goal, the aspirations? Okay, people aren't putting that much attention to the behaviors. Well, and then you're like, well, Steve, no kidding, duh. Like, I need to take some actions to do those things in health. But how often are you actually envisioning those? You're putting your attention to the behaviors of what need to happen for your health, wealth, family, relationships, vacations, and whatever that means to you, like whatever's important to you. However, you have to ask yourself this question, and this is where we go deeper. This is where it gets leveled up. This is where it gets elevated. Let's say this is, because there's a very influential motivational speaker out there that says, if you want massive results, you need to take what?
Massive action.
Massive action. You have to take massive action, which is a behavior. But the question is, are you the type of person that can sustain massive action that's going to produce massive results? So now we have to ask, who are you being? So we're going to go to characteristics. And here in the far left side, characteristics. And I chose this from right to left, building it that way because we have to know where we're going first, but we also have to know where we're at. If we don't know where we're at, we won't know where we're going. That's like saying, we're going to go to New York City today. Can you give me the roadmap to New York City? Well, where are you starting? I don't know. Then I can't give you that map. I can't give you the directions. We have to know where we're going, of course, but we have to know where we're starting. Mm-hmm. And where we're starting is where the change happens. It's our ways of being, it's our characteristics, it's our unconscious paradigms in which are going to reinforce the behavior. So let me give you an example. I just said, are you the type of person that can sustain massive action? Am I the type of person that can sustain doing 20 push-ups per day? Am I the type of person that can sustain manually tracking my foods to produce the outcome of having a healthier, aesthetically pleasing bikini body? Whatever that means to you, right? I'm just using your bikini body words on that one, Amy. I caught that.
I don't know if I'll ever really wear one, but I want the body.
I caught that.
I want the option.
You do. So characteristics, because to sustain behavior, you must be committed. You must be consistent. You must be 100% responsible. You must be driven. You must be focused. You must be self-integral. So in America, at least, we read things from left to right. And if I'm having a vision board somewhere, and maybe it's on my desk, it's on the mirror in my bathroom, it's on my car dashboard, my mind's going to go to the characteristics and focusing our attention to who we need to be that's going to support the behaviors that we're going to take consistently. You must be patient. You must be patient. I'm looking at you. I'm looking. You saw my eyes come down to you. I know. And then as a byproduct, you're obtaining the vision, the goals, the dreams that you have originally put on your scoreboard. But more importantly, You're literally creating transformation from the inside out.
Mhm.
And that has to do with our transformation equation too. R times C squared plus T is greater than S. That we've discussed that many times on the episode.
Mhm.
So this is where I'm going to be presenting on Saturday and living in this space.
Mhm.
And if this makes sense to you, then you certainly don't want to miss the opportunity for Saturday.
That's right. And the Zoom link, this is why it's important to opt in and get the information, because we're doing this on Zoom if we haven't already expressed that. And the Zoom link is within the information when you opt in. So just fill in your name and your email address so that it automatically redirects you to the video, the 35-minute video, 36 to be exact.
Yeah, 36.
Video, and the PDF that Amy has provided for you if you like to read and process things that way. But it's also got the Zoom link for you to join us on Saturday.
Yeah, and just really do that, and then just bring your supplies, bring your visions, though. That's what's really important. And then we'll help you, while as we're making the board, think through what Steve just went through, right? So if all you know is, I want a bikini body, that's okay. That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
You bring your little bikini picture or find it while we're together.
And
we'll help you think through the other items, what that looks like.
And what I know also is, if this process that we're going to present in creating a vision board is foreign to you or it's new to you, as you go through this process and start identifying your behaviors that are required, you're going to start, your vision's going to become clearer. Like as you're going through this, like it's because it is reverse engineering. The vision will be there, part of it. But as you're realizing like, hey, the reason why I'm putting this mental block in my head to why is that possible for me? Can I do that? Oh, I can't do that. I've tried that before. Is because you haven't chose who to be to get to that process. So once you realize, you're like, gosh, you know what? I have not been committed to working out or exercising or eating those. Like, it's just, I've never even thought of that. It was, I never had that the conceptualization of that identity and realizing that. And once you do, you're like, you mean to tell me that if I want to go there, like, I just need to focus my commitment. Yeah. Shift one characteristic. And that one characteristic is going to unlock your ability and confidence to produce the behavior, which is going to give you even a greater vision, because now you're actually doing it and you're being it. What matters, it doesn't matter what you're doing. The behaviors really don't matter. What really matters is who you're being in the process.
Thank goodness.
Bam.
Thank goodness for that.
So
Funny.
this is,
Tell me that sooner.
yeah. Well, I feel like this episode's been solely concentrated on what's happening this Saturday, but I know that when we're listening to the replay in a month from now, 3 months from now, a year from now, people will be coming across this episode, and it's going to be applicable at any time of the year. You don't have to start now if you're not coming across this information. Like, of course, if you're coming across it now, like, we want you to be involved. You'll just take immediate action on it.
Mhm.
But if you're listening to us on replay, like, it's going to be applicable at any time. So
Right.
With that, I am excited. I am pumped. I'm enthusiastic about what Saturday is going to bring to us.
Awesome.
If you're ready to go,
Oh, well, I'll close this out. If you're ready to go,
I'm ready to go.
say let's go, and I'll see you on Saturday. Make sure you opt in.
Let's go.
go.
Let's go.
Bam.